What is going on, everyone? How are you doing, ladies and gentlemen? It is your humble YouTube host, Timothy J. Ward, back with another live stream. And I got to tell you, folks, we're going to have fun with this one. Okay? We're going to have a little fun with this one. This one is a topic that I've been wanting to talk about. So I'm excited to do it. But first and foremost, I got to say what's up to everybody. It's in the chat, people that are already here. Hopefully, you had a wonderful day. Retired 2019 checking in. Mr. Royal checking in. Yoga Bliss Dance, Clear Vision. Nice, nice, nice. Good to see y'all. Good to see y'all. Hopefully you're having a wonderful day. Sorry, I was running a little bit late. I think I was like 1 minute late. So I apologize for that. But yeah, this is going to be a fun one. We're going to be talking about alternatives to paying this extremely high rent. I think we all can agree that rent got crazy. Okay, I was born in the 70s. I grew up in the 80s and 90s. You know what I mean? I got my first place probably, about 20 years ago. Okay, Renton got crazy since then. I remember as a few years ago, it was like 5 or 6 years ago. As few as like 5 or 6 years ago, rent was decent. Seemed like, okay, rent seemed like it was decent. You didn't really want to pay it, but you know what I mean. It was decent. But now it just seems as rent has got out of control. I think that's something we all can agree on. We can't agree on much in this country. We can't agree on much in this world. But I think most of us can agree this rent is gotten crazy. So instead of just always just doing, motivational, inspirational topics, sometimes I want to talk about some things, and have some real actionable game plans. Sometimes I want to talk about advice. Oh, I forgot to. They called me out about the show. Yeah, they called me out about the show. Real quick, those things you see on the shelf is what I had holding up my WNBA cards, but I took them down the other day, and I did not do. You're supposed to before you start a live stream. You're supposed to expose you, but y'all got me today. Okay, y'all got me. I'm here for it though. The rent's high. You gotta have Tums. The rent's too high. You have to have Tums. You have to have Tums. You gotta have a little Pepsi every time you pay your rent. You know, I just recently, me and a roommate rented a place, and we got a decent rate, but like I'd have been happy with half that. You know what I mean? Rent's gotten too high. I want to do something good about it. I want to do something to help people not to have to pay this high rent. Okay, now we've got 15 items on our list. We got the list right here. If you were watching the stream back, okay, now I can't do it, but when this is over, I'm going to put all this list in the description box, and I'm gonna try to go through and like chapter and timestamp it. If it's not too much work, if it's a lot of work, well, it'll just be in the description box. But I'm gonna try to have a timestamp, so because we're gonna have fun with this one. This one might take a while, but if you want to skip ahead, if you're watching this back, I should have it timestamped. But we got like I said, like 15 things we're going to do here. A lot of these are totally rent free. Okay. A lot of these are, you ain't have to pay no rent if you do them. Some of them are like less rent. Okay. A few of them are, well, you won't have to pay as much rent. Some of them you don't have to pay no rent at all. Okay. And on some of them, we went really bare bones. We weren't really, just, old school. But then there's a few of them that, a few of them you might not have thought of, you know, few of you might not have thought of. So real quick, I'm gonna get a sip of this fruit punch. Gotta stay hydrated. Wasn't just getting over about a food poisoning. You gotta stay hydrated. We do not want to go back to that. Number one, my number one alternative to paying these crazy rent prices they trying to shove down our throats is to live in a car, van, or RV. Number one is to take that car, van, or RV you already got and you've already paid off, or you're paying a note on, and live in it. If you think about it, if you're paying a car note and you're paying rent on like a place, it's a lot cheaper. if you make your car your vehicle and your dwelling. And more people are doing this every single day. A lot of people think it's a fad. I don't think it's a fad. I don't think it's a fad. Yes, there are a lot of people living in vehicles because they want to, because of the freedom. But this is one that I think a lot of people are doing because it's their only alternative. There are a lot of full-time people, like full-time workers, who work a 40, 50-hour job who are living in their cars. Okay, so if you're somebody who can still afford rent, but you're just like, man, like I can't get over that hump. Like if you're basically apartment poor, which means all your money's going to your apartment, you ain't got no money left after you eat and and pay your bills because your apartment's so much money. Basically, you're apartment poor or house poor if you're renting a house. It doesn't have to be forever. Doesn't have to be forever. If you got a nice little van, especially if you got an RV sitting in, chilling somewhere, or if you know somebody with an RV or something like that, it might just be like 6 months this time of year, spring and summer. I don't suggest doing it in the winter unless you just really want to, because it gets cold, buddy. Let me tell you, I just slept in the car in the wintertime. It's cold, but if you did it, imagine how much money you would save if you didn't pay rent for 6 months. Imagine how much money you would save if you didn't pay rent for 6 months. I have a video on this channel, 25 safe places to sleep in your vehicle when like you're living in your vehicle. So it is possible. There's more and more people, doing it every day. I get messages all the time from people. Y'all see them on the streams, and people are just like, "Hey, I'm moving into my car. I'm not doing it no more. I'm selling all this crap," which is a good idea. One of the positives of living in your car, living in a vehicle, even if it's a short period of time, is that you'll have to sell a bunch of crap, because you have to take everything with you unless you got somewhere to store that stuff. Makes you downsize, makes you get rid of a lot of stuff. Um, think about how much money you'd save if you didn't have to pay rent for 6 months, 3 months. You might even feel like, some people finally like it. I know people is like, oh, I'm just going to move my car for a little bit, save a little money. 2 years later, they're still doing it. They're still doing it. So that's one. Very drastic. Like I said, we starting drastic. In fact, number two is even more drastic. We started very drastic. Live in your van, live in your car. And the good news is you'll have lots of company. I was about to say lots of good company, but I don't know if all of it will be good company, but you'll be in good company because there's more and more people living in their vehicles every single day. Let's get to number two. Let's get to number two. James, I'm with you. James says, I'm sick of stressing over rent. I'm with you. I just got rent. I'm already sick of paying it. And I'm blessed to have my place though. Number two, and we're going even more drastic on this one. Number two is live in a tent. Live in a tent. And I looked it up on Amazon before I started this live stream for about $59. For less than $60, you can get you a three-person tent. So you and them bad kids can go live in a tent, save money. Lots of places to sleep in a tent. Lots of places. I'm kind of joking on this one, but I'm not. Like I'm kind of joking on this one, but I'm not. You know what I mean? It's getting crazy out here. Sometimes you got to take drastic. I got a tent. I got a tent. It's in my bug out bag. You never know. Y'all gonna thank me for this one when rent goes up even more in 2023. You can be like, Tim, I thought you was joking about getting a little three-person Coleman tent. You can be like, man, that came in good. Find yourself a little spot in the park under a clean underpass. You know what I mean? And here's what we talked about before. And people were mentioned it, and I said it's kind of sexual, and we joked about it. Rooftop tenting. I was doing some research, and apparently in a lot of cities that have like lots of high-rise apartment buildings and things of that nature, people are living on the roofs in tents. So you still have a good address. People are living on the roof in tents. Like imagine you stay in an apartment building and then like you get evicted or you're just tired of paying and like everybody knows you because you live there, but now you just live in a tent on the roof. Nobody's gonna bother you when they see you coming up and down in the build, up and down the stairs in the elevator, because you've been there a year or two already. So you just move out of your expensive condo, your expensive apartment, you just live in a tent on the roof. I'm telling you, you gotta get creative these days. You gotta get creative these days, folks. Somebody asked, am I saying this while I'm sitting in my apartment? Yes, I am. Yes, I am. Rent's too high. We got to get creative. Got to get creative. So that's number two, living in a tent. This is another one that a lot of people sadly are doing involuntarily. And as much as I'm joking and we're having fun with this one, and I'm mainly talking to the people who can afford rent but don't want to pay it, there are a lot of people who can't afford to pay rent. And these are some of the things they're having to do involuntarily. So if you're somebody, who just can't afford to pay rent, tenting is an option. And there's tons of videos on YouTube telling you how you can live in a tent and survive. If it comes to that, like I said, I keep one. I should. You know what? You know what? Y'all don't believe me. Hold on. Y'all don't believe me. Nope. 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 They don't believe me. I talk. Y'all don't believe it. Well, let me get this focus right. I keep one. 3-person dome. I got the dome tent. I keep one in the closet just in case. Just in case things get rough. They don't believe me. I've actually never taken this tent out of the. Do tents like expire? Do tents expire? I've never even. I don't think I've even unzipped this. Let me not even. Oh, is it supposed to be like that? It looked like a brick of some goodie. That's a tent, folks. That's not anything else. That's a tent. Anyway, so yeah, just in case, and that's a 3-person. So if it really gets crazy, I can take 2 folks with me. I got 2 slots. I'll be taking applications. The third one on our list. Is a bit more serious. And I think this one will go down. This is a lot more palatable for a lot of people. It's one I've actually done many times myself. It's renting a room. Okay, like I said, there's some things on this list that aren't totally rent free. Those last 2 were. Some you still much rent. Okay, you don't have to have a house to yourself. You don't have to have an apartment to yourself. It is possible to rent a room, house, or someone else's apartment and save money. I've done it many, many times. Pretty much every time I did it, it was with a stranger that I did not know. Found them on Craigslist. The game has changed a little bit. So now you got Facebook Marketplace. There's a lot more roommate websites. Back when I started doing, probably doing it 10 years ago, 2010, 2012, there wasn't a lot of, sites for this type of thing. But, and a lot of the renting sites only did they weren't really set up for this, as far as I saw. We're renting a room, and I think as the economy does what it's going to do, and maybe inflation and rising prices, I think more people will start renting out their rooms. So that's an opportunity. Once again, none of these options have to be like forever. You might just do it for a year. But I know for 12, 13, $1,400, and then I still got to pay utilities and all that other stuff. I've rented rooms for $500, everything included. That's easy. That's easy. You want to know how? When I was in Montana, I took so much time off. My rent was $500. Actually, it was $450 plus utilities. I would just give him $500 and be like, because $50 will cover utilities. So I give him $500 once a month. I was chilling. The only other money I needed was for food, until I got a cargo. But that's way better than $1,000, $1,200, $1,400 for rent. Some of y'all live in places where rent's $3,000. The renting rooms in those areas might be a little more, but still, there are lots of people renting out rooms, and you can find situations that match your lifestyle. You can find people to live with that are like you. The last room I rented, super great landlord. I was quiet. He was quiet. He was an introvert. I was an introvert. You know what I mean? It's just, or if you're a partier, you can find, someone to rent a room who parties, who wants to hang out with you. There's so many possibilities. You just got to do your research. Don't pick the first room you come across. If you get a weird vibe, don't stay there. Try to set it up to where after week 1, y'all get to, you know what I mean? Because I've had places that I moved in, and after about 2 or 3 days, there was weird noises at night and all kind of stuff. I had to back out of it. So try to set it up so hey, if I move in, a week grace period, and then we'll make it totally official or something like that. But I'm renting a room. Good way to save money. You don't have to have your own place. I don't care if you're 20s, 30s, 40s, 50s, 80s. I don't care. These days, you ain't trying to go broke trying to ball. Save that money. Rent you a room. Okay, moving on. Number four. Number four, some of y'all not gonna like. Some of y'all not gonna like. I was actually literally talking to someone, I think on Instagram, about this today. This exact topic. Number four is move back in with your parents. Number four is moving back in with your parents is a great way to save money on rent. Provided mom and dad don't try to, they don't try to, they don't try to pay for their retirement with your rent money. But if you tell them, hey, I'm moving back in to save money, I don't think your parents are going to charge you an arm and a leg. But just think about it. Hopefully your parents are decent people. You've lived there before. You know what the room is like. Hey, Ron, coming through. Thank you, Ron. I appreciate the love. Super Chat Squad. Thank you, Ron. Super Chat Squad in the building. Thank you, Ron, for the support. Said Tim, I've been car dwelling for 5 years. I only plan to do it for 6 months. I enjoyed it so much I decided to do it long term. Save up close to 100K. Nice. Saved up 6 figures in these streets. Literally in these streets. I take showers at Planet Fitness, charge devices at work, Starbucks. Boom. Thank you. See, taking it back to number one, it can be done. Rod has saved up like 100,000. Appreciate you sharing. I appreciate the love and the support, Ron. Thank you. Super Chat Squad. Saved 100,000. Oh, and Praveen coming through as well. Super Chat Train said, I love living with my parents. Nice. I'm appreciating these testimonials. Praveen lives with his parents, working that good job. We all know where, saving up that money. Thank you, Praveen. I appreciate the support. Thank you. Super Chat Squad. Super Chat Train. Yeah, move back in with your parents. Like people say that, like Gary Vee says this a lot. People like to laugh and joke, but think about it. Not to mention there's food in the fridge. There's groceries in the fridge. Mom might wash your clothes. Mom might come in there and still clean your room. You're 38 years old. You a whole middle-aged man. Mom might still come in there, clean that room, wash them clothes, chef up a little lunch. You know what I mean? Den, all that. Think about that. You in an apartment by yourself paying $1,800 a month of rent. Ain't nobody doing nothing for you. That guy you dating don't do none of that. Mom might do all that. And free rent or cheap rent. Last time I lived with my dad, I think he charged me 10% of my income rent. So if I made $1,000, I owed him 100. Like it was, which I don't even know if I made that much a month back then. He charged me 5% of my income. He'd always forget to take it too. I think you do, son. But yeah, parents ain't gonna charge you that much money. Hopefully, you stack up money, eat their groceries. Friends, thank you. Super Chat Scott, Super Chat Squad. Thank you, friends. We got a Super Chat Train because Raz is right behind. Friends, Raz, thank y'all so much. I appreciate the support. Thank you. Move back in with your folks. Okay. Here's a good one, folks. Here's one that I don't know. Some of y'all might not have thought of. Actually, when I was doing research for the stream, I hadn't really thought about it. Well, part of it I had. Okay, so number 5 is live at your job. My 5th method of saving money or keeping from paying rent. Saving money by not paying those exorbitant rent prices in your town is to live at your job. Now, this isn't for everyone. Okay, if you work at the Taco Bell, it might not work for you. But I think, and when I was doing research, it was people that like, a lot of people have like offices. And your employers these days, employers are trying to work every bit of blood out your body. So it's not unusual for people to still be in the office late night. It's 9:30 at night, and people still working. Guy in the article I was reading said he just never went home. He would just, everybody thought he got in really early, stayed really late. After a certain time, he would just turn the light off and, cot down in his office. Get up super early, go to the restroom, clean up, shower up, change clothes, come back in. Or, you just go around the corner, grab a coffee, and then you walk back in when everybody else walks in. So, I mean, this one is kind of for, people who have a situation where you can do that. but it's possible. Also, for people living in their vehicles, it's possible to maybe live on the premises at your job. I was reading a comment today, and someone said that like they're someone they know works at a car dealership, and they let them sleep in their car at the dealership at night to like watch the dealership. So hey, you never know. You might be able to finagle some type of situation with your job to where they knowingly let you stay on the premises or stay in an office or stay in a a spare room or something like that just to kind of watch the place. They can get rid of old Otis, the security guard who don't do nothing. Or you might be able to do it behind their back. Who knows? Now, if you work at a place where you're gonna get fired, if you get caught sleeping in your office, if the cleaning lady come in, you in there sleeping, she screams, you fired. That's a different story. Now, along those lines of living at your job, along those lines, here's one I stumbled across that kind of goes along with that, but you won't believe this. I didn't either. But in some cities, office space is cheaper than apartments. Listen now, this is game, free game. In some cities, office space is cheaper than an apartment. So, and I stumbled across this because me and a friend were looking for some office space to do a podcast that we never got around to doing, but we saw that like offices were going for like $600 a month, and it's like decent sized offices. And there were some like actual like big offices, like 3, 4 rooms, bathroom, walk-in area, going for like $1,200 a month, $1,500 a month. And we were like, that's crazy. So you might be living in a place where you might be able to finagle renting just a little small office space with access to a bathroom for, $500 a month, $600 a month. And it's your office. You can be there whenever you want to. I mean, I wouldn't let them know you're renting it and sleeping there, but it's kind of the same deal. You could set it up. Oh, I work nights. And just have it set up to where it looks like you're working there, but you're sleeping. Colin coming through with the Euros. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Colin, I appreciate that. He said, I don't know if this is on the list, but I've thought about living in a storage unit. Colin, you jumping ahead on my list, sir. You're jumping ahead on my list, but I appreciate the support. I appreciate the love. Um, you know, that's the only reason I read it because you showed love. I appreciate it. I really do. You jumping ahead on my list. You messing me up here. I'm messing with you, Colin. That was actually coming up pretty soon. So thank you, Colin. I appreciate the support. Thank you. And France came through again. France Vardman. Am I saying that right? Speaking of storage unit too, 125 a month, 24 hours. Y'all jumping ahead on my list. Super Chat Squad, Super Chat Train, appreciate the support. Y'all getting ahead of teacher. Y'all jump, but keep dropping the jewels, keep dropping the jewels. Let's go. Actually, renting office space or living at work, living in your office. Let's move on to number 6. Before we do though, folks, the numbers in the chat are looking great. Super Chat Squad's coming through. The likes are looking great, but if we could get it up to like 100 likes, that'd be awesome. So if you want to, you don't have to. If you're enjoying the stream, learning something from it, or just laughing at how crazy this dude is, thank y'all. We got up to 100. Love y'all. Number six, and I can show you on here so you know I'm not lying. Number 6 was storage unit. See how connected we are, folks? Y'all already knew what I was going to say before I said it. Number 6, my 6th method, my 6th alternative to paying that rent, because rent is too damn high, is live in a storage unit. And this is one that I think people have been doing for a while. Oh, them likes jumped up heavy. Thank y'all. This was one that people have been doing, I think, for a while. You can get you a cheap storage unit. What did Frank say? 125 a month, open 24 hours. And that's probably a decent size. And some of them you can get that might be, climate control. I don't know. I feel like the climate control ones might be more indoors. It might be harder to sleep in those. They got cameras. But, if you live in a place where you're not too worried about it being climate controlled, you can get you a storage unit for pretty cheap. As long as you pull the door down and you got a dummy lock on it. I don't think anybody's going to bother you. And if you do get caught, well, they can't really do anything. It's not illegal. They can just tell you can't sleep there. But yeah, a storage unit, you can, and all your furniture and stuff's already there. The good thing is all your stuff's already there. You can move all your stuff in there, all your furniture, all your stuff. Try that out. If you do get caught, then you can just be like, well, I'll just leave in my car now. But all your stuff still has a place to stay. So a storage unit is a good one, man. I can see them maybe in certain areas cracking down on this more, or being more vigilant to see if people are doing this. But if you live in a decent area and you think you can get away with it, I think that's a really good one, because yeah, storage units are very cheap for the space you get, as opposed to like if you're like trying to rent that much space in a house or an apartment. So storage units, man, that's a good one. That's a good one. That's a good one. Hey, Shiloh, thank you, thank you, thank you. Super Chat Squad, I appreciate the love. Thank you, Shiloh. Thank you, thank you, thank you. I appreciate all the support. Thank you very much, everyone. Shiloh, I've never seen it spelled like that. I like that. Shiloh Poet. I get thrilled just looking at people's pictures. I'm a simple man. Thank you, Shiloh. Thank you, thank you. All right, I'm gonna put that paper down. I feel like I'm making a lot of noise moving it around. What do we at? Number 6. Number 7. We're at number 6. It was storage unit. We're moving on to number 7. Our seventh way. Our seventh alternative to paying this high rent. Our seventh way to save money by not paying rent. You know, every month you give all that money away for rent. That's money you can't use to like better your life. Do something for you and your babies, you and bae, or just for yourself. So that's why we're doing this. This is important. This is life stuff. You know what I mean? It's fun, but like this is life stuff. You know what I mean? Like honestly, if I got to go to work and slave and sweat and break my back to get this money, I'm not trying to give it to the landlord, especially on an apartment that 3 years ago was half the price it is now. You know what I mean? I don't think any of us mind paying rent if we feel like it's the right price. You know, if we were getting for what we're paying now, like this super luxury apartment, we'd all be like, cool. But when you do alternative, and I don't think near enough people are taking advantage of it. Okay. I think this one is a great alternative. I've talked about it a lot. Anyone who follows the channel probably knows what I'm going to talk about. I'm talking about seasonal work. Okay. And the reason I'm bringing up seasonal work, first, let me say what seasonal work is. It's working for a season, usually 4 to 6 months. The average was about 4 months, and usually touristy places. So this is seasonal working at Marshalls or Ross. It's like working at Yellowstone National Park. It's like national parks. You know, a lot of these tourist islands and resorts, ski resorts, cruise ships, things like that. And the reason why I think these are a great alternative to paying rent is because they give you housing. Pretty much all of them, 90% of them give you housing. And they just, some of them is free housing. Some of them is totally free housing. I was just talking to a friend of mine literally right before I got on the stream. She's out in Maine, free housing. Working a seasonal job, she gets free housing. Lee Pie, thank you, thank you, thank you. So she goes out there, she works, they give her a place to stay for free. And a lot of them also have meals. So for instance, when I went and worked in Yellowstone for the summer, they gave me housing, 3 meals a day, and I think they charged me $12 a day. So you're looking at about what, less than $350 a month, less than $350 a month out of my paycheck. I got a place to stay and I got food to eat. 2 of my biggest expenses were gone. Okay. And there are literally hundreds, if not maybe hundreds, maybe not thousands of seasonal places around the country. There might be thousands. And there's all types of opportunities. I'm going to do a video in the future that goes way, way, way like deep dives into seasonal work. I just want to say real quick, if this sounds like something you're interested in, there's a website called coolworks.com that is like the grandmother of all seasonal job websites. Coolworks.com. Like I said, if you are somebody who has the ability to relocate and just kind of wants to get away for a while, some of these jobs, some of them are a little longer, some of them can turn into full time. But the beauty of them is, and while they're on this list, is that they give you housing. You don't have to like shop around, find rent. They give you housing. And in pretty much all the cases I've seen, except one, the house is very, very cheap. You know what I mean? Now, some of the places you don't make a ton of money, but like when all I have to pay was $350 a month for rent and food, I didn't need to make money. You know, and they're in some pretty cool places. And there's some pretty cool places. So like, yeah, when I was at Yellowstone, bro, I'm in Yellowstone National Park every day of my life. While I was there, every day of my life, I wake up, go to bed in Yellowstone National Park. They're giving me 3 meals a day. I got a place to stay. Just, I mean, a month before that, I was in my own apartment, having to find my own meals, sweating about the rent, all this other stuff. A month later, I don't have to worry about none of that. Like I'm telling you, you don't know how cool it feels until you don't have to worry about none of that. When you're somewhere and you're like, I literally could have zero. I know people who come to seasonal jobs with zero money, or who get paid and blow all their money on vices. We'll just say vices and keep it clean. But I know people who blow all their money, literally have zero money, and they're fine because they get 3 meals a day and they have a place to sleep. So it is a beautiful feeling to just be like, which is why I keep going back to it a lot. Because I get out in the real world, I get these bills, and I'll be like, man, I got to get back to a seasonal job and stop being an adult. I'm joking. I'm still an adult, but it feels good to be taken care of. It feels good to be taken care of. Hang on one second, folks. Caught one. Anyway, so yeah, seasonal work, coolworks.com. And when I put this list in the description box, if you're watching the playback, I'll put the links. Any links I mentioned, I'll put alongside them. Yeah, in exchange for you doing a little seasonal gig, working, housekeeping, a restaurant, being a boat dock hand, whatever little seasonal job you do, they take care of the rent. Sometimes it's free, and if they do charge you, it's a few dollars a day. And since I've said I'm going to push this state, I'm going to keep pushing it. There are some really cool, awesome Alaska seasonal jobs to be had right now. Mm-hmm. To be had right now. So coolworks.com, ladies and gentlemen. Moving on to number 8. Number 8. We're kind of getting through this list faster than I thought. I have to put the brakes on these. Number 8 is one I haven't done, but friends of mine have, and that's house sitting. House sitting. There are rich people out there who have houses, or just upper middle class, who have houses that are so nice that, and sometimes they have pets, which is really the main reason. But a lot of times their houses are just so nice that when they go on vacay, they don't want them sitting empty. And in exchange for like free rent and a place to stay, they will let you stay there while they're gone. They will let you stay in their super nice house while they're over in Maldives for 2 months or whatever. So it's a good place to, you know, crash, hang out. I mean, not, well, I don't even want to say like crash and hang out because it makes it sound like you can just be over there just partying and not, but like you got to be a responsible adult. But in exchange for just like watching over someone's house and feeding Fido, like you get a place to stay. And they have house sitting websites. They have house sitting websites where you can go on there and you can make a profile, and they kind of handle all the finding a house sit and all that behind the scenes stuff. So you can kind of communicate with the homeowners. But there's some people, this is all they do. There's some people, they never pay rent. They just go from house sit to house sit. And you can do this all over the world. This is another good one. This is another good one if like you want to travel. A lot of these are good for travel as well. Not just for people who just can't pay rent or don't want to, but if you want to travel, a lot of these are good for that as well. So yeah, house sitting, you can literally do this all over the country. You can literally do it all over the world. This is something I might actually get into when my lease is up here. I might actually do this. The more I think about it, the more I'm like, why you don't house sit? So hey, real quick, we got a couple super chats come through. Ron says, Tim, people can live in a van, park it at an RV site for $500 to $600 monthly. It comes with shower. You park your van in a designated water and electricity. Nice. Super chat squad. Thank you, Ron. $600 a month. Pull your van or RV up, park it. You got what? You got access to water, electricity. Some of those places have showers. Yes, that comes with showers, electricity. So like, boom, $600 a month. You set, got everything you need. You know what I mean? There's so many alternatives. So thank you, Ron, for sharing that. Praveen coming through again. Super chat squad, super chat train. Says, I was wondering what you think of Airbnb being your house to random strangers, Tim. It might be a good way to make extra income. Y'all jumping ahead of me again. I'm gonna come back to that one, Praveen. I'm gonna come back to that one. But I will answer your question. I think Airbnb is great for homeowner. I think it's great. I think it's great for a homeowner. And if you're renting the right place, you can even maybe Airbnb a room in the place you're renting if you have an extra one. But we'll talk about more of that later. But yeah, I think Airbnb is gonna, and Verbo and places like that are gonna get way even bigger in the future. We'll come to that. We'll get to that. We're on house sitting right now. Super chat squad, super chat train. Thank y'all for the love and the support. We're on house sitting right now. We're gonna come back to that. Trust. Wow, we're almost at 200 likes. Hey, thank y'all for the support, man. Thank y'all so much. Okay. Number 8 was house sitting. So yeah, you can just Google house sitting. I'm telling you, most of them you'll have to watch a pet, a bird, or a parakeet, or a ferret, or something, a dog, something. So there might be a little work involved, but a lot of times these are nice houses, nice areas, and you just get to be there for free. You usually don't get paid. Your payment is you get somewhere to stay. So I think I'm gonna look into that myself more. Number nine. Number nine. Now this one was one that had kind of went away. It kind of got canceled in 2020, like a lot of things did, but it's coming back. Number nine, our ninth alternative in this high rent is couch surfing. Couch surfing is back. I thought it was canceled. I thought it was canceled. I thought it was done. I thought it was gone. That's a couch surfing is gone. It's back. However, you do have to pay. I feel like it was free before or like super cheap, but now they're trying to make money off of it. I think the actual couch surfing website changed ownership, so now they're trying to make money off of it. But that's an alternative. You can get on couch surfing, and for those of you unfamiliar with it, you go on the website. People advertise they got a couch you can sleep on. Pretty basic. And you just interact with them, set it up, and you go. You sleep on their couch. You could literally do that full time. If you're very comfortable with strangers and strange couches, I'm not that comfortable. If I have to pay $49.95 for a membership, I'm not that comfortable. But if you are, you could literally couch surf around the whole country. Never pay rent again. They typically people who put their couch on couch surfing kind of like someone to hang out with. They got a house, they got a empty house, a couch. You stay on the couch, they'll probably take you out to dinner, y'all hang out, y'all talk, a couple drinks if you drink, whatever, maybe watch some TV together. They usually expect you to like interact because that's why they do it. They don't do it just because like they got an empty couch. So if you're not a very social person, it might not work for you. But couch surfing is back. I thought it was gone. I looked it up. I said, this can't be a thing anymore. Nope, it's still there. Still there. New ownership. So yeah, you can literally couch surf around the whole country, around the whole world, actually. Around the whole world if you wanted to. But yeah, you can just go from couch to couch. Some people are willing to let anybody. They're not picky. Hey, come to, and you set up a profile on couch surfing, and the more you do it, the more reviews you get. So in the beginning, it might be a little hard to get people to let you sleep on the couch. But as you do it more, you get good reviews, and 10, 20 people is like, oh, Tim came, it was great. Pretty much everybody on the site will be like, yeah, come through. So yeah, man, it's couch surfing used to be huge, and like I said, it kind of went on a decline. But hey, everything's kind of opening back up. World's looking lovely, lovelier by the day. So try it out. Tell you, I'll be dropping game. I'll be dropping knowledge. Number 10. Number 10. This one is one that hey, free like summer. Thank you. Says love your channel. Greetings from Bulgaria. Thank you. With the Bulgarian bucks. No, what is it? The Bulgarian leave? Is it Lev or Leva or something like that? The money in Bulgaria? The Bulgarian Lev? Something like that? I got a friend in Bulgaria. Shout out to him. Shout out to you. Free like summer. And I like that name. Appreciate the support. Thank you. Donna, see, boom, you're right there. Donna, you right with me on my number. Well, sort of. Number 10 is get more roommates. Okay. So yeah, if you have a house, I think they call this house hacking. If you have a house, you can rent out the rooms to other people and make sure it's enough to pay the whole mortgage. So you ain't got to pay nothing. So you don't have to pay nothing. Or like say you have an apartment and you have an extra bedroom, or going on in other parts of the world for decades, and I think it might come to the US and other Western countries as the housing market and rent goes up. I think a lot more people are going to start like partitioning off portions of like their living room. Okay. I think, or even partitioning, you're going to start seeing micro rooms. This is big in like country and cities like Hong Kong that is like super condensed and it's impossible to find housing. They have like these little micro apartments. And I think as prices go up, as the economy gets whatever, You might see people putting, making 2 bedrooms out of the living room. So a 2 bedroom apartment will turn into a 4 bedroom apartment. That 3 bedroom house you got could turn into like an 8 bedroom. You know what I mean? And for cheap enough rent, two people will split a room with a partition in it for 250 a month. I'd do it. You know what I mean? If I had enough space for like a small, like a twin bed and a dresser and like a desk, and there was access to a bathroom for 250 a month, bring it. You know. And so that could, you know what I mean? That's 250, 500. But you could be bringing in like, man, I'm telling you, like, I think that's going to be something we're going to see more of. So some of y'all with houses and extra space, remember Tim told you, they sell partitions on Amazon. They sell partitions on Amazon. I'm just saying. But if you don't want to be that extreme, just renting out rooms, get more roommates. You don't have to have your own place. If you bring somebody back home from the club and they don't want to, go any further with you because you got roommates, well, then I was going to say, take them back to the club, make them walk back to the club. That ain't for you anyway. You're 45, you got a roommate? Yes. How do you think I had money to buy bottles all night? Because I got 2 people living in my living room. Times get drastic, folks. I'm telling y'all. I would love to see if 10, 15 years from now, a lot of these things we think are the rules and the right way to do it when it comes to like housing and shelter gone out the window. Come 2040, people gonna be impressed you live indoors. Oh, you got a house? You live indoors? Wow, you must make big money. Like I'm telling you, it's gonna be. You only got 5 roommates? Dang, you must make big money. Okay, it could happen. It could happen. So yeah, get more roommates. Like space in one room at a time. You're gonna be in one room at a time. You might as well. You. Oh, the numbers start going down. Numbers start going down. People didn't like that one. All right, let's move on. Number 11. Moving on to number 11. And Praveen, Praveen, kind of hinted on this one before, but I want to talk about Airbnb. Several different aspects of Airbnb. Okay. I've mentioned on this channel before because I did this for a while. Play the Airbnb game properly, to rent out Airbnbs as opposed to apartments. To rent out Airbnbs as opposed to an apartment. It's buffering? Ugh. Why is it buffering? Hang on, folks. I don't know why it's buffering, folks. We're gonna try to. Nothing I can do. There's nothing I can do to change that. Hold on. Hang on, folks. Let me I'm gonna give it a second. Maybe it'll settle down. I can't reset my YouTube. If I reset my YouTube, the stream will go away. Thank you for the suggestion, though. Yeah, I don't. Yeah, it shouldn't. It shouldn't buffer at all. We're gonna keep going. It's the reason I got this apartment so I'd have good Wi-Fi. So I have good Wi-Fi, there wouldn't be no issues. Anyway, hold on. No, there's not going in the background. Anyway, okay, we'll keep moving on. Airbnb. Yes, see, they can't stop the stream. Airbnb, I think you can, if you just want to do like the rental side of it. If you just want to do like the rental side of it, and you do your research, deep dive down into Airbnb, and if you're willing to kind of traveler, it is possible to, and definitely less hassle to rent Airbnbs every month as opposed to rent in one's place. Once to an Airbnb, then get into a hotel. You know what I mean? Excuse me, to get into the apartment. I'm getting all discombobulated with this buffering. I don't know why it would possibly be buffering. There's no. Sorry. It's kind of low key annoying me because it's supposed to be perfect internet. We got the premium internet package. It's the premium internet package. There's literally nothing that should be able to make me go down. All right, I'm just gonna keep going. Yeah, it's gonna have to. They're gonna have to deal with it. Um, so yeah, it's a lot easier to get to an Airbnb in a hotel, and you can book an Airbnb for 6 months if you want to. If you like the price, you can book it for 6 months. You can book it for 6 months, and they only charge you once a month. So it's kind of like an apartment, but it's not. They don't do background checks. They don't do it. Once you're in the Airbnb system, as long as they get their money, you're good to go. So I think that's something that's going to catch on a lot more. I think that's something that's going to catch on a lot more is people just living in Airbnbs, especially with remote work being on the rise. Um, Remote work's on the rise. People are going to start realizing I can live anywhere in the country, anywhere in the world, and they're going to be like, "Well, I need a place to stay. Do Airbnb." So that's one option with Airbnb. Definitely look into it. Definitely look into it. Another one, another aspect of Airbnb is sometimes. Wait. Hey, RLE 40. Thank you. Super chat squad. RLE 40 says CDL plus semi truck with sleeper, live in the truck plus company driver, get into the money plus travel. Yeah. If that's something you're interested in, I think that's a great way to live rent free. I've talked to a lot of people who do that. Become a truck driver, get your CDL, just live in your truck. Just live in your truck, and you're making really good money. So you're just stacking them chips up, just stacking those chips up. So RLE, thank you for sharing. I appreciate that. Super chat squad. Thank you. Um, Another one with Airbnb is becoming an Airbnb property manager. So some people have Airbnbs and they don't want to have to deal with the when a guest checks out, cleaning it up, changing, remaking the beds, washing everything, all that. So a lot of times, I've seen people who had like a two-bedroom Airbnb, and so upstairs there might be like 2, 3 rooms they rented out, and then there's a basement downstairs, and they let someone live in the basement downstairs for free in exchange for every time someone checked out of the rooms cleaning it. So you could be an Airbnb property manager, and basically all you do is live on site, um, and take care of the Airbnb, and you get free rent. So it's just like, and that's you don't have to work all the time because um, there won't always be stuff in there, But hang on 2 seconds, folks. I'm gonna see what I can do about this internet. Nah, it's just annoying because I'm like, we got the best package. People restart your YouTube. Maybe it's finished. No, everybody's in. And the numbers are going. Anyway, cool. I just want to check with you. Thanks, man. Okay, we back. Just one checked. Is nothing crazy going on. It's totally got to be the company. It ain't us. It's nothing here. It ain't. All the I appreciate all the suggestions, but like in the middle of a stream, there's literally nothing I can do. So we just got to bear with it. So Airbnb is one, but we got 4 left. So we're gonna get right to it. Did Airbnb number 12. Number 12 is one that, once again, maybe not for everybody. But number 12 is a in-home helper for seniors, not 12th graders. In-home helper for senior citizens, like home care. So if you're somebody that's really good with like taking care of people, maybe you have like a nursing background, there are seniors who may not have anyone else. A lot of times they're looking for in-home care. So in exchange for taking care of the person and getting paid, part of your compensation is living a place to stay. And you're pretty much you're there probably about 24/7, but you get to stay somewhere rent free, and you get a new friend. You know what I mean? I'm not very well with people, so it probably will work well for me. But like I say, hey, in-home helper for seniors. I mean, you could even work something out like this, like unofficially. Like if you got someone in your life who like is getting up there, and maybe they have a spare room, and or maybe they just want someone to be in the house with them. It may not even be you're like taking care of them, but it might just be like, hey, somebody's getting up in age, they just want someone in the house with them. They might give you free rent just to live there, just to like be there to check on them. Someone might do that. Hey, my mom lives alone. We live in the house with her, just to be there to check on her. Something like that. So that's an alternative. Another alternative. We got to get creative here, folks. In-home helper for seniors. Lee P coming through again. Lee Pie, excuse me. Lee Pie coming through again. Said in the UK, if you're a long-term squatter over 10 years, you become the registered owner of a property without the owner's permission. Wish me luck. Hey, good luck. Good luck. We couldn't do that in the US because people would be, you couldn't do that in the US and ever tell anybody because people would come pull you out that place. If you was like squatting somewhere for 10 years, you get to own it. People would the squatters, you would like the owners wouldn't have to pull the squatters out. The squatters would be pulling the squatters out. They're like, oh yeah, I'm squatting over there on Butler Street. I got 2 years left and it's mine. You'd be gone the next week. Somebody else would be in there. They know what happened to Tim. Super chat squad. Thank you, Lee. Thank you, Lee Pie. Thank you. With the Euros, the international super chat squad. Yeah, man. But yeah, good luck. I mean, that's pretty cool. How do you prove you've been there 10 years? How do you prove you've been there 10 years? Would be my only question. How do you prove it? I'm curious. I might have to head over to the US. I mean the UK. Head up to the UK. By paying the property tax. Oh, that is weird to me. That like you that is weird to me. That like it's just like, okay, I can afford to come down here and pay the property tax, but I'm just gonna squat here. You mean like I don't know. It does that seem a little weird to anybody else? I would just but then, like if you got the money to pay the property tax, why you don't just buy the property or rent the property? You know what I mean? That's I'm like so you got money. You just okay. I don't know. That seems odd to me. Anyway, so but hey, do you, do you. Okay, number 13. Now this is one we're moving right along the list here, folks. Number 13. Now this is one that like I just saw. I was looking at some list of this, and this is one that was on a list that wasn't on anybody else's list, and I thought it was funny, but it's also true. At first, I just laughed at it, and then later I'm like, wait a second. Um, get the government to pay your rent. Get that government money. Get the government to pay your rent. Now I'm just this is an option. I'm not saying whether it's ethical or not. Hey, maybe you need them to. There are lots of government programs out there that will pay people's rent. You might qualify for one. Doesn't hurt to apply. Quit your job, apply for Section 8. I don't know. Is Section 8 still a thing? Is it like Section 8B now or something? I don't know. I don't know. Don't quit your job and apply. It might work out better for you. The way things are these days, it might work out better. You go in the Section 9 office and you be like, I don't have any job. I don't make any money. I need to apply. They'd be like, can't help you. You go in there, you say, hey, I have a job. And they're like, oh, we can help you. I'm telling you, things are weird. Things are weird these days. But hey, there's government money out there to pay for people's rent. When I used to hang out with a lot of strippers, trust me, half them girls paid about $300 a month. 300, no, like $30 a month. No, it wasn't even 300. It might have been like $150. Half them girls paid like $150 a month for rent, and they was bringing in $1,000 a night. So I'm just saying there are not once again not saying to do this, not saying to cheat the system in any way, folks. I'm just saying there's government money out there. There's government money out there. We all saw past couple of years. There's government money out there. Doesn't hurt to apply. Government money for housing, and get it before everybody else does, because everybody's gonna start coming for it. Everybody's gonna start coming for it. So go tonight. Go, even if you have to become a stripper. Maybe that helps. I don't know. Even if you have to go down and work at the Pink Pony in your part time. You, you don't have to go to work at the Pink Pony in your part time, in your spare time, just to qualify. There's government money out there. Y'all know this. Y'all saw it in 2020. Y'all saw it in 2020. They just giving money away. Get you some. Get you some. Yeah, Ken, you know about it. They know about it. Ken knows about it. Ken knows about that. Big Bell know about that. They'll know about that. You got to go down work at Strokers. Okay, okay. I don't need the name. All the spots I used to frequent. We used to have fun. We used to have fun in Atlanta. Okay, moving on. Number 14. 13 was get that government money. Number 14, we're getting near the end of the list, folks, and then it's going to be a free for all. We just going to talk because it seems like the stream is back better. Nice. Oh, that's Ken. It's Ken from the A. My boy, what up? Number 14 is work exchanges. So this is another one that is good for like nomadic souls, travelers. There are websites like WWOOF, WWOOF, Worldwide Working on Organic Farms, that you go and work on organic farms, and they give you a place to stay, and they give you like one meal a day, 1 or 2 meals a day, and yeah, they give you a place to stay, meals a day, and you just kind of work 5 to 6 hours a day on the farm. Okay, there's like what that there's Workaway. There's lots of different websites geared towards this type of thing, and basically you volunteer your time, and they give you a place to stay, minimum place to stay, and sometimes meals. These you don't get paid though. Now, number 7, seasonal work, same thing, and you get paid. So that's why it's at number 7. This was at number 14. There's a method to the madness. But if you just ain't trying to work at all and or pay rent, if you've just totally given up, which is nothing wrong with that, no judgment. There's lots of these work exchanges. Just Google work exchanges. I've done woofing. The website was cool. The experience wasn't, but that wasn't the whole concept. It was just the person I woofed with. The dude was a bit of an a-hole. He wanted me to do all kinds of work I wasn't supposed to do. The meals half the time were like peanut butter and jelly. He had me like deep cleaning his oven, stuff like that. Like, you know what I mean? So, yeah, just check it out. I would just put in work exchanges. There's a lot of them. Like, there's regional, there's national, there's international. Woofing is all over the world. So, I mean, you can go be working on a sheep farm in New Zealand next month. Now, you have to pay for your own travel, stuff like that. But it is a good way to see the world and, or your country, and not have to like pay any money for housing. Or it's a good way to just not have to pay rent. Okay. So, work exchanges. You usually work, like I said, 5 to 6 hours a day. It's not like work, work, work. A lot of it's really chill. If you get the right organic farm, it'll probably be really chill. If you get what I'm saying, if they're growing the right organics, you might could get a farm that's really chill. You just hang out. Probably a lot of like-minded people. So work exchange is another good one. Another good one. Now, our last one on our list. Last one on our list, and we're right at like an hour. That's how good I am. Even with the buffering, we're coming in right at an hour, like I planned. Hostels, number 15. My 15th alternative to paying high rent is crashing at hostels. Now, the hostel game in America, not as good as it is overseas as far as prices, but you still can find some pretty cheap, hostels. Now, you'll be sharing a room with like 6 other people, but it's cheap. It's cheap, 20 bucks a night, something like that, maybe. Other parts of the world is even cheaper. But 20, 30 bucks a night, depending on what city you're in. And some cities are higher, but the rent there is even higher. So yeah, hostels is, especially for a traveler, or you can do it locally. And hostels is cool because sometimes they'll let you work there for free rent. So you might be like, hey, I've been staying here for a couple weeks. Can I just like clean the place after I get back from my day job for free rent? What do they care? It's one bed. They'll slide you a bed. So hostels is another good one. Like I said, some of these we're getting a little extreme. We got to think outside the box because I think more and more people are going to be trying to get away from paying rent, or unfortunately are going to be unable to pay rent. So I think this is a good time to try some of these out. Get your foot in the door before the whole influx of people comes in. You'll know when it's about to get bad because the views on this stream, the replay will just go through the roof. You'll know times are bad if you come back to this video. If this video ever gets 1 million views, it's over. It's the apocalypse. Anyway, ladies and gentlemen, that was my list of 15 alternatives to paying this high ass rent in these streets. We've talked about it. We've ruminated over it. Now, I want to hear more of what your ideas are. Um, does anybody else have any other ideas? What do you think about some of the ones we had going on here? Let's talk about it. Let's dive into it. I think this is a pretty darn good list. In fact, I had two others on the list. I took them off. I was like, I think 15 is good. I think these are the best ones. Last of the 70s children. We already talked about tent. Tent, that was number one. That was number two. Living in a tent was number two. We already got there. We already got there. We did that. Tent is a good one. You know, let me just say, folks, I think everyone should have a bug out bag, and I think a tent should be in it. A little small tent like that. Get you a big bug out bag. You know what? You know what? I'm getting visual these days. Hmm? Hmm? That's my bug out bag. Just to let y'all know, I'm practicing what I preach. I don't even know what's in there, and I've been swapping stuff in and out that bag when I was, before I got my apartment. So I'm not even sure what's in there now. So I won't show you the contents. I might do another. I did a video a couple years ago in 2020 with what content, what was the contents in my bug out bag. But I might do an updated one. But my tent fits in there. It's a big enough bag. I think that bag was a couple $100, and I think that's everybody needs to have one of those and have a tent in there just in case. You might find you might be hiking one day and find you a nice little pasture or stream somewhere, nobody around. You might be like, you know what? I could live here. You have your nice tent. Save that money. Sleeping in cars and business parks. Yeah, I think that's a good one, Steven. I think that's definitely a good one. That was number one on our list. Car, van, RV. Um, you know, sometimes people say the thing with business parks though is you're not really going to blend, right? Like the thing with business parks is when there's nobody there, there's nobody there. So if nobody comes around, you're okay. But if the police or security or worse, criminals, ne'er do wells come around, you're the one person there. So everybody's going to gravitate to you. So I think that's the one downside. Free like summer. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Coming through again. Uh, said stocks crashing, crypto done crash. There's hyperinflation. Don't worry, folks. Housing crash coming soon. I think so. I think it's a possibility. I think it's a possibility, and I don't say that to scare anyone. I I'm never, I'm Mister. Don't be scared. Get prepared. Don't be scared. Get prepared. By the way, crypto's going to come back. I'm loving. It's a bargain. It's bargain basement prices on crypto right now, folks. I'm back on Coinbase. Your boy's back. I haven't made any purchases, but I was back looking. Someone said do a recap. Okay, so real quick, I'm gonna recap, then I'll get back to the comments. Number one was live in a car, van, or RV. Number two was live in a tent. Number three was rent a room. Number four was move back in with parents. Number five was live at your job or rent office space. Number six was live in a storage unit. Number seven was seasonal work or seasonal job. Number eight was house sitting. Number nine was couch surfing. Number 10 was get more roommates, partition off rooms, partition off your living room, get more roommates. Number 11 was Airbnb or Airbnb property manager. Number 12 was in-home helper for senior citizens, like home care. Or I guess it could be disabled people in general. Number 13 was get that government money, get some, government assistance. Number 14 was work exchanges, and number 15 was hostels. So that's where we're at. That's where we're at. That was actually a good idea. Yeah, good. I'm glad I did the recap. Yeah, Matthew, you got to think outside the box, man. Like I said, we're joking, having fun, but a lot of this stuff is sadly, this is stuff that needs to be, talked about. Donna bought a $400 camper from a junkyard. Okay, okay. Fix that up and flip it or use it for yourself. Yeah, Dana, we're going to cruise ship. That's kind of a seasonal good. Yeah. And we mentioned when we talked about storage units that it's something that they're probably cracking down on um, a lot more. But I think, and here's the thing too, like a lot of times when people say, "Oh, that will never work," you got to recognize, realize like that's your where you live. Especially like a lot of people live in bigger cities. A lot of stuff won't fly in the cities. That people who live in smaller towns or smaller cities, it'll fly all day long. One of the reasons I like moving around a lot is I kind of get to see. Part of the reason I'm in Denver right now is because I don't know a lot about like big city living, so I'm trying to learn or like metro area living. But sometimes there's things that won't fly in your area that will fly other places. Like in my 25 places to sleep in your car or vehicle video, I said car dealerships, and so many people were like, all car dealerships have gates around them. That is not true. In your town or your city, they do, but there are hundreds of cities across this country in smaller places where they don't. There's no gates around the car dealerships. You can just pull in at night. If you go to the Hyundai dealership, you have a Hyundai, and you pull in, even if it's an older Hyundai, pull over by the service bay, the service area, you'll blend right in. So just keep in mind, folks, when you're saying that'll never work, there are probably some places where storage units they got it on lock. I promise you, there's some little podunk storage units where nobody goes, and you can live in there, and no one would ever bother you. Like I can think of some off the top of my head in North Florida right now. I'm visualizing the storage units right now. I guarantee nobody ever comes by there. So it is possible. So we can't like totally write something off because it doesn't work in a certain area. Um, yeah, a lot of people in the chat likely lost. Good to see you. Yeah, if you get if you know it's a storage if you know the storage unit owner, you might even be able to work some out. Hey, if I slide you extra $50, I promise you, hey, and you can even say, like we talked about earlier, sometimes people will let you be on the premises just to look after it. If you're like, yeah, I'm going to be living here. If anything goes down, I'll call you at night. They might be like, fine, cool. Like, saves me having to have a security guard. You know what I mean? Like, you never know. Mark said, with all bridges, hey, pitch you a 10 under the bridge. Let's go. Patrick said, camp in Lake Tahoe if you've never been. Beautiful small town. Yeah. Where was I? No, I haven't been to Lake Tahoe. Amelia's, that's not true. I think sometimes sometimes we that's not true everywhere, I'll say. Please don't ever think that because of who you are or how you look or your gender or your race, color, creed, that certain things won't work for you. I've been all over this country and I can tell you, it ain't as bad as people say. It ain't as bad as people say. You can't just write off small towns as not being friendly to certain people because there's different. All small towns are different. Like we got to get out this mentality that every place is the same, folks. It's a big country. It's a big world. The things that might be true in your area are not true everywhere in this country. Fortunately, you know what I mean. So yeah. Do you remember a guy named Zach at the YMCA likely lost? Yeah, I remember Zach. Yeah, I remember Zach. Yeah, I remember Zach. Yeah, I remember Zach. Nice, it's cool. Yeah, I know Zach. Yeah, I know Zach. Yeah, tell him what's up. Small towns are already 70 children. Small towns are already getting swamped with city folks. What are they calling them? What are they calling them? Because a lot of the nomads, the digital nomads and the remote workers are moving to smaller towns. They got a name for it. What is it called? But basically, yeah, when remote workers and no digital nomads move to a town and they raise the cost of living, what's it called? I forget what it's called, but it's Zoom towns. Yes, they're calling them Zoom towns. It's play on boom towns. They're calling them Zoom towns. And it's where actually I want to do a video on that too. I had to wait. I'm waiting, but that's what I want to talk about. Because yeah, digital nomads and remote workers, they're making the same money they were making, the remote workers in like a bigger city, but they're moving to these smaller towns and cities, and they're spending that big city money. So like the cost of living is kind of going up for the people in the small town who don't make that kind of money. So it's crazy. Yeah, man, it's crazy. It's crazy. It's crazy. So it's one of those like, is it a good thing or a bad thing? MD, I appreciate that. Yeah, see, that's what we all need to do. We can't let other people's stories about places keep us from them. Find out for yourself. Unless it's like a credible source, the person, it just happened last Tuesday, okay. But if someone when you were a kid said, "Oh, don't go so and so," come on now, that's yeah, yeah. Yeah. That me, I'll just leave likely lost. Yeah, that was me. Uh, the Americans are taking over Lisbon. See, I'll tell you, if the world's getting small, which is actually pretty cool. But I mean, not if you're a Lisbonite, a lesbian. I had to a lesbian. I had to. Sorry. I'm sorry, but uh, like, and that's something that's another thing that's going to be an issue in future. Is I think now a lot of places see digital nomads as like a boost and remote workers as like a boost to the economy, but in future, I think it could be seen as a hindrance to the overall economy or to the people. It's gonna be interesting. We're living some interesting times. We're living through some interesting times. We're gonna have the best stories. I'm telling you, we're gonna have the best stories. Bushcraft. I don't do a lot of collab videos, but I'm willing to discuss it. If you hit me up on like Instagram, I want to discuss it definitely. Big bad booty daddy. So oh, he's talking to Asia. The ghetto costs $600 now. Boy, you can't even. You, boy, you wonder. You got to make decent money to live in the ghetto now. Oh, there's some $50 ghetto rentals. Okay, oh, man, I'm not. No, I'm not. I'm not. No. If I'm not doing no double digit rent. If it ain't, I'll do triple digit. I'm not doing no double digit rent. There's a clause with that. There's a clause with that. Danielle, I totally agree. One of the things I want to really start getting into is investing. Worst case scenario, I want to learn it. Um, I know some about how money works. I want to learn more, just so I'll know all my options. I've always done a good job of working and making money. Um, I've always been good at like saving money. Now I need to figure out how this whole investment thing works. Yeah, I think you're right. What I've been noticing is they're taking all the ghettos and making them luxury condos, but ain't nobody building no new ghetto. That's what I'm noticing. Or not even ghetto. Just in general, like nobody's building like regular housing. Nobody's building housing for like regular people. Like people like me. Nobody's building like all the places that like where they're putting up new stuff is like luxury. They're making them all luxury. So like we're just average people who trying to pay, $1,000 or less a month in rent supposed to live when like all the new places started like all the old places the price is going up and all the new places started like 3 grand. You know what I mean? Like where's a regular person supposed to live? That's why we have our list. That's why we have our list. Because yeah, it's just like you can't even think about renting a house as a regular person now. You can't even daydream about it costs you to daydream about buying a house. You daydream, you fall asleep and dream about buying a house. You wake up, there's $500 missing out your bank account. That's how expensive houses are. It costs you to dream about buying a house these days. You need a down payment to dream. you, you need a down payment to dream about a house, ladies and gentlemen. Don't judge me. I'm getting a little dehydrated. I'm gonna have a little Pedialyte. Don't judge me. Don't judge me. Y'all don't know me. I love y'all, but y'all don't know me. I drank for 15 years. Yeah. So it's weird. Everything's luxury now. All the new stuff is luxury. This apartment I'm in now, they were like, "Oh yeah, we're gonna start doing remodelings and renovations," and they were like, "Yeah, the level of the community is gonna go up within the next year." And I'm like, "So basically, you mean you're gonna raise the rent?" It's like, "Yeah, we're there's gonna be kind of a," which I appreciate her being honest and telling me. She's like, "Yeah, there's probably gonna be the type of people living here might adjust slightly." And she was saying it as a positive, but I'm like, that ain't really a positive for me because I'm probably gonna be some of the people priced out. I'm one of the people that's going to be on the street, So it's good to know. It's good to know. You know what I mean? Like I'm glad I know. So like when I'm thinking of my future plans, which I'm only going to be here like a year anyway, but I'm like, imagine if I was planning on staying here long term because it's a nice area. Now I know. Oh, you're probably not going to be able to afford it in 2023. I think 2023 is going to be a interesting year. Don't get scared. Get prepared. Oh, and yeah, talk about tiny homes. The thing with tiny homes is though, I don't really think they're that much like if you're gonna have to like make your own tiny home, you gotta have 20, 30, $40,000. You know what I mean? And we're really tough. And if you're gonna rent one, renting a tiny home is probably gonna be about the same as renting an apartment. If someone's got a nice tiny home, they're not renting it to you for cheap. So I honestly in this situation, I don't as opposed to like owning a home, tiny home might be cheaper. But in a discussion about rental, I don't think a tiny home is any cheaper. I think it's any cheaper. That's another good one, Aisha. Where the elderly people supposed to live. Not to make this about me, but kind of. I have a video, and it's about seasonal work, but it's it's geared towards senior citizens, elderly people who can still like work. Because I know there's a lot of senior citizens out there that might be on Social Security, but can still like get around and work. You can still be these days. You're super active at 62, 65, 67, whatever. But a lot of them have kind of retired, kind of getting pushed out of the job market because of ageism or whatever. And yeah, your Social Security, you can't pay rent and eat. You might be able to do one or the other on Social Security these days. And so I was telling them about like seasonal work. Once again, they give you a place to stay, they give you meals, and they pay you. And a lot of them have jobs geared towards senior citizens. Anybody can run a cash register, and that's just not. I mean, a lot of them have management positions. Excellent for someone who's worked for 4 years, still sound of mind and body. A lot of them have some good management positions, things like that. So supervisory positions, or a lot of other just not very physical positions. So every place I've worked need people in HR, and I'd much rather Big Mama, was working in there than some of the people they had in there. Anyway, so and I actually got some good feedback on that video because there's a lot of senior citizens. A few messaged me and said, "Hey, thanks. I was like super concerned about what I was going to do, and they're like, now here's an option. Something I can do." So yeah, that's a big one. Like we're elderly people are we all just gonna be living with our parents. Our parents can be trying to move in with us. We're gonna be trying to move in with them. The grandkids in the mix. Hey, Percy, astronaut status. Thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you. Super chat squad. So that's what is happening in my city. A lot of tech workers are moving in the area and the rent is going up. What about us regular folks? It's a setup. Appreciate the love, Percy. And yeah, that's the thing. When tech comes to town, they praise it. Oh, it's bringing jobs and blah blah blah. And it is on one. This is on one level. It's cool. And that's the thing. A lot of our problems now, our issues, there's no real fix because, like, a lot of times, I personally don't think in that instance it's always by design a setup. I think it should. I think people do mean well. Let's bring tech here. Let's bring jobs here. That does a lot for the city. But yeah, it prices out the regular people. But it's like the alternative is say you have a city that's kind of on the decline. If we don't bring the big tech companies in that are trying to be here, that are going to bring millions to the city's declining. But if we do bring them in, it's going to price out the people who've lived there their whole life. So it's kind of one of those. Now, money is always going to side on the side of money. So there are some people who probably don't care about the little people, me or you. But I'm sure there's some people who are like, yeah, this is, you know what I mean? But it's one of those things like, how do you fix it? It's yeah, it's sad, but that's I don't know. You got to start on your weekends looking at some of these small towns. Every small town's got a Dollar General. They always need managers. I'm just saying. I'm just saying. Dust your resume off. Um, I'm joking, but like y'all know I feel for everybody going through this stuff. Like we're all in this together. So like it ain't, you know what I mean? If it ain't me this week, it might be me next week. Where something, pushes me, into my tent. Hope that doesn't happen. But yeah, well, I like that setup. Candlelin's got lives with her parents. They pay the rent. She pays the bills. Nice, nice. Been looking for a new place for like 2 years. Too expensive. That's crazy. 2 years. 2 years. Can't find that. It's crazy. Like it's. I think what was it on my number 10? Get more roommates. I think that's going to be the most viable option for most of us. You have to move somebody in. Somebody's move a few people in. Put up a couple partitions. They ain't gonna pay us no more. Prices are gonna keep going up to the reset. We're gonna have to move some people in. Move in with some people. Missy, hey, how you doing? Okay, okay, wow. All right, we're gonna have to put somebody in timeout. Somebody said move to Detroit. Hey, Corey coming. What was it about 10 years? When was it when Detroit really went down? You could buy a house for about $300. Those people are up now, which I called it. I called it. I said those people who are going there and buying up huge blocks of them cheap houses and paying people to burn them down. Those people are up now. Hmm, 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 hmm. Yeah, Mish. When large companies that used to have nothing to do with rent are buying up houses to rent them out, mhm, you know something's going on. Hmm. It's 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 interesting out there. It's curious. Amelia said, "I'd rather have a tent than a roommate." Hey, the day may come when you got a roommate in the tent. So man, I can't afford this tent by myself. I'm just messing with you. I'm just messing with you. Let's all say a silent prayer that day never comes. Let's all hope that day never comes. Yeah, Aisha, they raising rent, not the wages. This is what happens. It's byproduct of greed. It's a byproduct of greed, in my opinion, and it just keeps going and going until there's some type of correction, be it an economic correction, an economic collapse, or the people correct. And you've seen it all throughout history. You've seen it all throughout history. Like it's something like the French Revolution. The same deal. The same deal. Slightly different, but the same. Things just got more and more and more out of proportion. The wealth gap. Finally, people's like, we ain't got no bread. Like, you know what I mean? Like, we can't even eat. You know what I mean? And then it just okay. All right. Hmm. Every day, people's going home, sitting in the barn. Yep, that pitchfork. Yep, that machete. Yep, that torch. And then one day, people just, I just say, like, that's why, like, and it's not cool times of civil unrest, things of that nature, but it's like, I never get too worked up about any of this stuff because I know one day it'll end. It will boil over to the point where people are just like, why am I going to stay? And I'm not advocating this at all. I'm just saying people get to the point where they're like, why am I going to follow the rules when I got nothing? I cannot afford a place to stay. We already have a homeless epidemic. We already have a homeless epidemic in this country, in the world, in parts of the world. The only thing holding it together now is the average person is still like, that won't be me. Wait till everybody starts thinking, that might be me. See what happens. That's all I'm saying. That's all I'm saying. You know, they got pitchforks at the Home Depot. Watch them stop selling them. You'll you'll know the people about to rise up when they lock up the pitchforks at Lowe's. When you got to pass a background check to get a pitchfork, it's coming. You got to have a security clearance. You got a government security clearance for that pitchfork, sir. You know what's coming. Yeah, I'm telling you. Wait till the average person driving home. Now people speed through Skid Row. Wait till people start slowing down and be like looking for the good spots because they're like, damn, that could be me. You know what I mean? People are like, wait a second, let me take some pointers. Let me stop at this light and take some pointers, some notes, because that might be me. You know what I mean? Wait till people start thinking like that. Okay, no see, no see. Ooh, there's another one, Deborah. Fishing boat. Yeah, that should have been on the list. I'm mad. Thank you, Deborah. Fishing boat. Live on a boat. That implies you have a boat, though. Fishing boat, if you can get one. That might be an extras. We'll put an extras. Well, now we won't even say fishing boat. We just say boat. We say canoe. That's a good one. Yeah, I'm gonna go buy up all the pitchforks. But nah, they don't look like they'll put me on some type of list. But once again, don't get scared. Get prepared. That's why we have the list. There's alternative. Some of y'all, and that's why like I'm happy I have this apartment and I'm paying rent because it puts me in this mindset of like, okay, what are the alternatives? And it's really got me thinking like, all right, when my lease is up, how am I gonna maneuver, how am I gonna navigate? Um, and to like save money for that, because I'm like, nah, I ain't doing this 2 years in a row. I ain't gonna do this 2 years in a row. I won't be able to afford it in 2023, probably. Probably won't be able to afford it, you know? Probably won't be able to afford it. But I'm getting my mindset of like, all right, which one of these do I want to do? I mean, I'll tell you the house sitting one sounds I might actually do some house sitting while I'm leasing for this year. It won't cost me nothing, just to see what it's like. You're in the market for a tiny home with a military grade tank exterior. Hey, hey, that's just a tank, right? You just get a tank. Yeah, that's another thing. I just saw Market Watch did a podcast on this, um, and I forget what the exact term is, but you set it up so that like, and you have to find people willing to do this, but basically, a group of people come together and they rent out like an apartment building, but it's set up so that like basically rent to own. So when they after so long they become the owners, and a lot of people are doing that. I actually saw, was it Kirsten? Was it Kirsten Durst? No, no, Durston, not the actress lady. There's a lady who does documentaries. Kirsten something. Faircompanies.com, and she interviewed some people who did that with like some condos. They all got together, and they all together put down the down payment, and over the years, paid it off and became the owners. I think you'll see a lot more of that too. A lot more of that. Yeah, yeah. Is people buying places together. Missy Moda, thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you. Super Chat Squad, thank you. Says bravo. Yes, yes, yes. I appreciate that. Thank you, thank you, thank you. I appreciate the love, appreciate the support. Thank you. Is that a pizza in that picture? Is that a pizza? Is that a veggie pizza? Is that a meat lovers pizza? I'm always looking at the pictures. Hey, free like summer. Thank you, thank you, thank you. With that Bulgarian cash coming through again. Thank you. Free like summer says for real though. I'm hearing stories. Hey, like free for like summer. Like I appreciate the love, appreciate the support. I can't keep reading like negative comments though. You know what I mean? Like we try to keep it positive, try to keep it up. So I know we are mentioning kind of some things that are a little, but like I'll read the last part. Stock up on some canned food and spaghetti. I'll say that. I'll say that. I just don't want to read too much like fear-inducing stuff from around the world type stuff. You know what I mean? Just to because I don't like. We could go down that road and it would get crazy. So, stuff that we know is happening with the housing market, other stuff, cool. But I just don't want to read too much of that. But I appreciate love, appreciate the support. Stock up on canned goods and spaghettios. That just sounds like a very gassy apocalypse. If I have to eat spaghettios through the whole, housing crisis, you ain't gonna want to be in a tent with me if all I got is spaghettios. That's all I'm saying. That's how you get your own tent. Um, Appreciate the love. Thank you. Ooh, Aisha said you always go to a mental institution. Yeah, I don't think they're gonna have much room. You're gonna have to pass a background check to get in one of those soon. They ain't gonna have much room soon. Spaghettios ain't cheap either though. Like, Dave, hold a second. Spaghettios ain't cheap. You get some of them Piggly Wigglios. Y'all got Piggly Wiggly in Bulgaria? Y'all got Piggly Wiggly? Lee Smith in the house. How you doing, brother? How you doing, brother? I was just thinking about you earlier today. I don't know why. I don't know why. You probably commented or something. But you crossed my mind. So that's love. B Butler thinks we might get another stimulus in November. I will pay for my vote. I don't even vote, but please try to bribe me to vote for you. Please. I will take all that bribe money. I will take all the bribe money you got, whoever's running. I won't vote, but I'll take the money. We've already, printed up way too much. Like, I don't want to talk about it. I don't want to talk about the how we've inflated the money supply. I don't think it can hurt too much more to inflate anymore. Chris, we talked about van life. It's number one on the list. Isaiah, I definitely I didn't put it on the list here because we're kind of speaking kind of more local stuff, but I see the amount of people leaving the country to live in cheaper countries exploding in the next 5 to 10 years. Now it's kind of something, ooh, but I think it's going to be common. Everybody gonna know somebody. They're gonna be like, oh yeah, Uncle so and so, he live in Indonesia, he live in whatever. Like everybody's. That's why I'm another wave I'm trying to hop on, or be at the head of it, so I can not only do it and benefit from it, but tell y'all about it. Is I want to start doing some, because it's easy to say, oh, live out the country. Who's actually really giving out the information of how to do it? I wouldn't mind being that guy. I wouldn't mind being that guy who's like, all right, this is how you actually find a cheap place to live and stay and rent in Mexico. Here's how you do it. Here's how it works out. So $300 to get your hair braided, Samantha. Hey, that's why you just gotta let it lock up. let it lock up. I don't know. Nitra, is that 100% sure that the money supply has nothing to do with inflation? Are you sure? Are you sure? So there's no ill effects from them inflating the money supply? I'm asking. I know the answer, but I'm just asking. Your thoughts? Rookery van life, land in the desert. Another thing I'm trying to look into, cheap land. Jaron trying to move to Amsterdam. Oh, that Amsterdam ain't gonna be cheap. It ain't gonna be cheap, especially with all that sticky you're gonna be trying to smoke. I'm judging you. You might not even. Oh, ooh, that could end it badly. I dropped my juice on the floor. Hold on, folks. I'm here. I'm just cleaning this stuff up. All right, cool. Sorry about that. Yeah, I'm gonna have to get I dropped my juice on the carpet. I had to get it up for it stained. Yeah, I'm gonna have to buy me a mat to put down here. I already see because I can't afford to stay in this carpet. I need my security deposit back. Yeah, Josh Bob Wells got that plot of land in Arizona. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Already ahead of you, CN. Already ahead of you. I don't think it's always people jacking up the prices that causes inflation. I think it's the fact that people are willing to pay more for products that causes inflation. Some of it is people jacking up prices, but I think it's just when there's more money out there, people are willing to pay more for stuff, and that raises the prices. Oh, y'all want to get down in a rent to own building initiative? Let's do it. Let's do it. But I don't want to head it up though. I don't want to head it up. Christine, I'm not moving for another 10 months, 11 months, but I mean, I'm gonna move eventually. I still may not need my security deposit. EB, yes, I'm feeling better. Thank you, much better. I'm probably at about 87%. Which is good. You should try to move to Masimara. Okay, okay. Lee, yeah, this one's for you, Lee. Rent's too damn high. This one's for you. Did this one for you, Lee. Even though you live in employee housing. Even though you ain't paying rent. No, I'm joking. I'm messing with you, Lee. Lee's a good friend of mine in real life, so I mess with him a little more than a lot of people because I know Lee. I still remember how shook we were in 2020. I remember. I remember. I seen you right before you left town. Yeah, I'm all for the rent to own apartment building initiative. I just need a nice little one bedroom. Whatever condo apartment building y'all find, I just need a nice little one bedroom, top floor, central heat and air, cheap rent. My goal is living in an apartment. For one thing, I wanted to, which this stream kind of, I don't know, didn't do that. But for one thing, I wanted just like steady Wi-Fi. Whenever I wanted to stream, I wanted to be able to stream, not have any issues. I really got to figure out what that was all about. It might be this laptop. It might be time to upgrade the laptop. I might need to get a desktop now that I think about it. But yeah, just I wanted to experience kind of a city metro area. Hadn't done that really. I've been living in these seasonal places, small towns. I just kind of wanted to have a home base, kind of near a bigger city, have my own room. You know what I mean? Like after so long of like being on the road and being in Airbnbs, hotels, employee housing, things like that. Like I just and even when I was in Montana renting a room, I was like renting a room in someone's house. It was at my place. You know what I mean? So I just kind of wanted somewhere to chill, kick back, get some things done you can't really do on the road. Um, so yeah, just kind of wanted to have one place for a while. Oh, James, I'm still a nomad. You know what I mean? I still got some trips coming up. I still got some trips I'm working on. But yeah, I just want to have a home base. Like I don't think it has to be so like cut and dry. You're either a nomad or you're not. Like I'm always gonna be a nomad. Always have a nomadic soul. I can take a break from traveling for a little bit, and I could even have an apartment for a year and still travel. Actually, it'll make travel easier because like I don't have to worry about where I'm gonna leave my car, stuff like that. That's what was the big thing the past few months. There's places I wanted to go, but it's like even when I went down to when I went to Florida and South Carolina, I had to leave my car at the airport for 2 months, which is cool, but I don't want to do that all the time. You know what I mean? So it's cool just to have a home base, helps you with stuff like that. But yeah, I'm still gonna travel, man. Yeah, man. I probably would be on the road right now, but I'm putting my car in the shop Monday, so I had to hang out for a while. And I was getting everything's situated and moving in. So it's good to take April and May off. But June, we trying to do something. Nothing too crazy, but we're trying to go somewhere. I could believe that's the thing in the industry. Mark said I was once told that if a property isn't rotating tenants and the rent is not high enough. I could believe that. I could believe that. Does Alaska have UBI? I don't think so. I'm pretty sure Alaska doesn't have UBI. No one ever mentioned it when I was there. Hey, Ashley heading up there to do seafood processing. Nice. Do it. Do it. Do it. They give you a place to stay. I think they give you meals too. I think. Yeah, I'm pretty sure they give you meals. They got to. You work so much. You ain't got time to go find meals. Oh, Pavia, nice. You finally left that job. Nice, nice. Mailed you your last check with a $50 bonus. Nice. Yeah, you get a dividend in Alaska. They don't have universal basic income. Nah. Now every American would be up there. If they had universal basic income in one state, not the others, like the whole everybody be up there. But yeah, they get a check. Yeah. Yeah, it's a dividend, but it is not near enough to be considered universal basic income. Like you can literally Google right now, what is the oil dividend in Alaska each year? I'm pretty sure it's like a couple thousand bucks. So that ain't nothing like universal basic income. That's like a bonus check. Yeah, see, James just said it like 2 grand a year. That ain't universal basic income. That's just like a little stimulus check. And I've gone on record and said like, I don't think universal basic income will work because like if universal basic income worked, every leader in history would have done it. If you could just give people money and it was fine, why have we not done it yet? Dude, if I was the leader, you'd be the whoever instituted that would be the most beloved leader in the world. I'm gonna give all y'all $5,000 a month, and it worked perfect. You'd be president forever. There's a reason no one's really tried it. There's a reason no one's really tried it because they know it's not gonna work. You can't just give people money and it works out. The money has to come from somewhere. The money has to come from somewhere. Eventually, there will be a problem. That's just my opinion. Because I look at it this way: if everybody knows that every month all of us are getting an extra $2,000, prices are going to go up to reflect that. Like Nietzsche was saying earlier, if I know that in addition to their regular job, everybody's got an extra 2 grand a month, prices are going to go up to reflect that. Prices are not going to stay the same. Maybe if you could enforce a freeze on prices and then do UBI, maybe, but prices are just going to go up. Oh, yeah, plus, you already got nobody wants to work now, which I'm all for. If you can not work and still live, I'm all for it. So I love the Great Resignation. I love all that. I'm all for it. But nobody wants to work now. Can you imagine when you already give people when you people already don't want to work, and then you give people money every month? Nobody's working. Which I kind of want to see what that would look like. So it's just not. I just don't think UBI is going to work. I personally just don't. I just personally don't. But I mean, I could be wrong. I didn't go to college. I could be wrong. There'd have to be so many checks and balances and all this other stuff. It would just be a pain. Actually, I asking do I think it's a good seasonal job? That's it's kind of subjective. Would I do seafood processing now? No. Would I have done it if I'd known about it in my 20s? Probably. If you like to work 16-hour days for 30 days straight, I think it's a great job. If 12 to 16-hour days for however long they need you doesn't sound cool, I talked to some guys from the net when I was up in Alaska. I talked to some guys from like the Netherlands or something. And they said they'd done it and they were like, we made, I don't know if you can make 15 to 20 in 4 months, but you can make some money. Um, Definitely 5 to 10, I'd say, but maybe more than that. I'd definitely say 10, but I mean, you kind of have to do the math. If they're paying $15 an hour, 12-hour days, how much would that be, a week? Gotta do the math. I would roughly do it around there. But he was like, yeah, it's good money. He's like, but I would never do it again. He's like, it's the closest thing to hell on earth he'd ever seen. Because that's a lot of work. Like, that may not sound like a lot of work. And if you're like an extreme worker, cool. But 12 to 16-hour days for a month straight, every single day, no days off. I'm not checking for it. But I mean, it's they say you work so much you don't have time to spend the money. So hey, yeah, I know me. I'd pass out after about a week. I'd die. I'd literally would die. It wouldn't even be a heart attack. It would be a body attack. My whole body would seize up, die. Danielle said you can make money day trading Bitcoin if you have at least one Bitcoin. Oh, and I mean, if we just look at how the crypto market is right now, I think yeah, that'll keep a lot of people out. I don't, you know what I mean? There's a lot like you can make money day trading anything if you do it right. That's kind of the that's kind of the if you do it like everybody knows buy low sell high. You know what I mean? It's the if you do it right, that's the hard part. You can day trade anything. You can day trade bicycles if you can figure. You know what I mean? So like, I'm not doubting that you might be able to make a ton of money day trading Bitcoin, but like the average person, and there's that $30,000 to $40,000 startup cost. I think the average person probably gonna keep them away from it. But thanks for sharing. Mike 01 Davis, thank you. Super Chat Squad. So just live in your car, buy a portable camping AC unit from Sam's, an inflatable bed. Number one on our list, live in your car. Yes, number one on our list, live in your car. You know, you don't even need an inflatable bed. You can get you one of them. I was about to say $10 foam covers, toppers but they're like $20 now because I bought one before I got my mattress the other day. By the way, my bed frame came in, ladies and gentlemen. So the bed is off the ground. We're not sleeping thug status no more. The bed is off the ground. So I just wanted to share that with y'all. Thank you, Mike. I appreciate the love. Yeah. Sleep in your car, number one on the list. Save up money. Sleep in the car. Mark, I think at this point I would just hang on to the crypto. The market will be back. I think. Once again, I'm not a financial advisor, never claimed to be, but at this point, I think the best bet is just to hang on to what you got, um, or buy more. Actually, I would say. Traveling dude. Yeah, I would say depending on how crazy you're kind of trying to get renting a room is probably the best option. If you're not trying to sleep in your van or sleep in a tent or move back in with your parents or live at the office, I think probably renting a room is probably the everyday man and woman's safest best option. Yeah, yeah. Nah, James, you can't make no money day trading Bitcoin starting with $100. The fees are going to eat you up. The fees are going to eat your $100 up. Day trading, you can't. Nah, you can't start day trading Bitcoin with $100. The movement isn't going to be enough to make any money. If you only got $100 in the game, nah. Stacy checking out vans. Okay, okay. Cinda, I have 5 grand a month liquid. I think you could travel the world good, depending on the places you want to go. But I think 5 grand a month, you can travel the world good, especially, the South America, Southeast Asia, Africa. I think those places you go, you get over in Europe, you might have some issues, but ladies first. I'm trying to. I mean, I'm sure I have, but like, I mean, known personally people who stayed a couple for financial gain. I can't think of a couple off the top of my head. I mean, because probably the people I know who are doing that haven't said that, that's why they're doing it. But yeah, people do that all the time. Like, that's one of the reasons I'm in no rush to be in a couple. To be in a couple, is I don't want to get stuck in a situation like that where like I gotta stay with her for the finances. Like, nah, I'd rather just fight this financial battle on my own, from the get go. Hey, some places in Southeast Asia, Chester, you don't need the visa. You don't need a visa to go to. I mean, well, you need a visa, but not when you got to apply beforehand. They got to get your visa when you get there, type deal. But yeah, man, Southeast Asia is cheap, man. The whole time I was in Thailand, I was like, man, I've been trying to ball out in the wrong place. I'm blowing money in America for nothing. I can come over here; it's way cheaper and live way better. Once the app, I'm telling you, that's gonna be the next wave. The next wave. All right now, all the digital nomads, a lot of the remote workers are just moving to smaller towns. The next wave is they're gonna move out the country. Need to get ahead of that. I'm trying to get ahead of that. KM said just find a rich woman. Yeah. Okay. Yeah, rich people don't always stay rich. That's usually when you end up having to stay with somebody is when y'all came in with money and then someone loses that money or something. Y'all making bad money decisions. Nah, rich people don't always stay rich. I'm good. I'm good. I'm good. Nah, Josh, I don't speak any Thai. I'm when I travel, I'm a very ignorant American. I only speak English. Even though I know some Spanish, when I was down in Mexico, I didn't use it. It was more because like I was kind of embarrassed and shy. But yeah, I'm an ignorant American. I speak English. And if you don't understand me, I just say it slower and louder. Where is Walmart? That's how, that's how I roll. That's how I give. That's how I give it up. Island fisting out the country. Yeah, man. It's already happening. It's going to start exploding. I have to disagree, Mira. With both those sentences, sorry. You don't have to have a roof over your head, and there are ways of avoiding rent. So, respectfully, we'll have to disagree if we'd like. What's wrong with Vietnam, Cinda? Cinda? I was going to Vietnam until COVID hit, and then like I couldn't go. I had to cancel my trip. Already bought the tickets and everything. I was just about to do my visa paperwork, all that, and then COVID happened. 2 bedroom apartment in Denver, you're probably starting at about 1,600, and then it goes up from there. Um, about 1,600, and then goes up from there. Vietnam sounds scary. I mean, but if you do your research, I feel like you'll see it's really not that scary for a boy or a girl. There's so many women who go over to Vietnam every year, um, especially in this country. We're conditioned to think anywhere else in the world is scary. So many other places are scary. A lot of times you'll learn that it's typically places where People don't look a certain way. We're taught to think are scary, and even some places where the people look that way. But if you do the research, you'll realize that like a lot of them play. Some of those places have every place has its bad spots. You know, every place has its bad spot. I talk to people who come over from other countries to work here seasonally. You should hear how scared they are to come to America. Hmm? Hmm? You should hear the horror stories they hear about America. Let my Russian friends tell you, what they thought America was going to be like. So it's all the same game. You know what I mean? But I think in America is even worse. We're just programmed to leave because they don't want us leaving. That all these places are so scary. But then when you really look into it or like watch people's videos who are there, they're just like, bruh, like it's just a regular. It's a country. Like people go to work, they raise their kids. Like what's there was a war there in the '60s. Like, you know what I mean? Yeah, so I'd say do your research. I'm always saying the few times I've been blessed to go out the country, I'm by no means this world traveler. The few times I've been blessed to go out the country, I felt safer in those places than I felt in typically the city I flew out from. I do a lot of flying out from Seattle. I felt safer in those places than I feel in Seattle, and I'd be in Seattle a lot, so I'm chilling. Felt safer in those places. Let's keep it. Let's keep the political talk down, folks. This ain't the chat for that. Respect your opinion. This ain't the chat for the crazy political talk, though. A typical meal for me. Today I had like baked chicken. I eat a lot of Chinese food. I eat a lot of strawberries. A lot of chef salads. Mark trying to go to New Zealand. Okay. I have not seen Mount Rainier, Danielle. I have not. It's on the list. William, we already did the 15 places like an hour ago, so I'm well on track. We've been streaming for about 2 hours. We did the 15 places an hour ago. You know, so we good. We good. I got this. I'm like hashtag live stream king. I do this 4 times a week. We got this, sir. I appreciate your concern, but we got this. Ladies first. I've listened to some financial motivational speakers. In the beginning of my journey, I was really into kind of that because I thought, as a lot of people do, that like if I just made more money, my life would be better. Now that I realize that like that's not the solution, and it all starts if I get me better, then everything in my life will get better, including the finances. In a lot of cases, it's really kind of pointless to listen to like a financial motivational speaker. But I used to back in the day. Yoga, we already did the recap. We already did the recap. That's how long we've been streaming. Oh, I like this, Ron. I like this. We're reading this one. Last year, I sold my one-bedroom condo in California. Bought a two-story, four-bedroom, 1.5 bath, 2175 square foot house in South Dakota for cash. I was very blessed and fortunate to have gotten it. Yeah, man, a lot of people doing that. Please tell me you didn't tell them you was from California though when you got to South Dakota. Please tell me you hit your tags. But yeah, a lot of people doing that now. That's happening in Wyoming, Mexico, not to Wyoming, Montana, Idaho, a lot of those places. And I respect it. I respect it. A lot of people don't like that because they're scared the politics will change in those places. But that's part of the game. Sell your house. When I was a kid, um, middle school, beginning of high school, that was happening. People in New York were doing that. were selling their houses in New York, coming down to Atlanta, Georgia, down south, buying houses for cash. And we resented that. So I get the resentment, but it was the game, and that has turned Atlanta into the mecca that it is, and the thriving, very what is the word I'm looking for? I was just bragging about being the live stream king. Now I can't talk. It is the thriving, diverse city that it is because of that. So I think a lot of these places, South Dakota, Montana, Wyoming, a lot of these places will benefit from the influx of people from other places. Even though it does kind of play with the cost of living a little bit, but that's awesome. That's awesome. Was suffering from depression a massive mental shift in terms of what I find value in prioritizing your life? No, Colin, because like I got over my depression before I really started being on the journey I'm on now. So I got over my depression like 20, and I still was, a whole nother thing. I went right from that to partying, so I wasn't thinking any of this stuff. The only priority in my life back then was women and wine. Let's go. So all this came later. Diane, hey, good to see you, Diane. Good to see you. Yeah, man. We making moves. I don't comment much on the subscriber count anymore because not saying I'm scared of jinxing it, but I just don't. You know what I mean? Yeah, he's doing it. I'm letting it do what it's gonna do. But I appreciate everybody mentioning it, showing love. Thank y'all. But I've just been like, I'm he's doing what it's doing. Oh, Yoga said do another recap. Um, maybe not. Ashley, we just chilling right now. Not working a real job. YouTube and other online stuff could be considered a job, but I don't like to call it that because it's my passion. But yeah, we're not working a job right now. Blessed. To what degree would I say money and finances are like religion and politics? um, I would say that like at least there, you know what I mean? Like we live in a society where you have to have money, where you have to have some type of interaction with money for the most part, most of us. Um, Money isn't real, but like there is some tangibility to it. You know what I mean? I know if I go to work, get my check, I can buy stuff with it. Religion, depending on who you're talking to, I mean, like religion, most of it is you can't prove. Do you really even have to have it? Politics is as much as I say money's not real and all that, I think it's realer than a lot of religion, and that's no shade to religion, but like I don't know, what I mean? Religion's a hard one because like it's you, you know what I mean? So I think they're different, but I don't know. I in politics is don't get me started on politics. Money's not real, but I'd much rather deal with that than those other two. I'll talk about money. I don't really talk about religion and politics. And that is not me, by the way, saying religion is a bad thing. I know some very religious people who are very good people because of the religion. My mother being one of them. So I'm not bashing religion. I'm bashing like I'm not bashing anything, but like I'm speaking of like some of the negatives that come from. Y'all know what I'm talking about. Like if you're trying to have a discussion about religion or something like that. Oh yeah, I love my chef salads. Corey, Alaska, they don't have a lot of housing. That's crazy. That's why everybody's probably hiring. They got no housing. But I have been hearing that there's a lot of places seasonally that the housing is going away because the people realize, oh, I can, instead of giving it to the employees, I can actually rent it out for 10, 20 grand a month. It's hard when you got a property that you can rent out for $500 a night to just give it to your seasonal workers. So Yeah, I have been, hearing stories about that where some places, where there aren't bigger companies with like dedicated housing, people who just might have had a house that they always rented to their employees, they've been trying to like find the scummy ones. I don't even want to say scummy, but people who maybe value money more than their employees, have been like renting out the houses and telling employees, well, hey, yeah, live in your van, live in your truck. Which I'm like, why would anyone stay at that place? There's so many seasonal jobs with housings. There are so many seasonal jobs with housing. With housing, why would you stay at a place where they make you sleep in your truck? It's crazy. Hey, Erica, I appreciate the offer. If you're trying to send a little donation, it didn't work out. That's cool. It's a thought that counts. So I appreciate that. Thank you. Daniel, I'm not vegan. No. Hence the baked chicken. I think affordable housing is limited traveling, dude. I think we got plenty of housing. It's not overpopulation that is the problem. Overpopulation isn't the problem for like anything, except when like certain cities where there's tons of people. And even then, that's just because so many people decide to go to the city. There's overpopulation ain't a problem with food. It ain't a problem with housing. We got enough housing. We got enough food. It's just greed is usually the problem. The R Hodge experience. Thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you. Super chat squad. Super chat squad. I can't talk today, boy. Woo. These bright lights. Thank you, thank you. The R Hodge experience. Super chat squad. Thank you. Said any advice for people who don't know if they should quit their job to pursue things that don't make money yet when they have a family to support? Um, yeah, like when you have a family to support, I do have to change my message up a little. I'm definitely Mr. Quit Your Job. But it's like I understand when it's like you got responsibilities. In that situation, that's when I default to the like research form a plan. You know what I mean? It may not be quit your job right now or next year, but you can start formulating a plan to get off the plantation. You know, you may not be able to join Harriet Tubman and escape tonight when the moon's high, but you might be like, hey, when you come through next spring, I'm not, you know what I mean? So it's like, I think in that situation, it's just starting to like, okay, the idea like, okay, I'm going to quit this job. Today's going to come when I'm going to be doing something I want to do. I'm going to be making money to support my family the way I want to do it. What is that going to look like? And let me start doing my research, and my daydreaming. I think a big step in this one is daydreaming and figuring, because I mean, now you got time and opportunity. So it's like, what do I want to do? What would be that dream scenario of me getting up in the morning, going to a job or going to a business that I own or whatever? What would be this dream scenario for me moving forward? And then just like be working towards that. And then till the day comes when all that's in place and you can quit your job. Because yeah, as much as I love just saying quit your job, there are. Ooh, I'm moving around too much. We little. Hold on. There definitely are scenarios where, yeah, that's not the best. That's not the best move. You don't want your babies in the street. You know what I mean? So, yeah, yeah, I definitely super chat squad. Thank you. But yeah, but I think nothing can stop you from starting to formulate a plan now and working towards that plan. And it does take, and that's kind of a good thing because a lot of times it takes some time to figure out what you want to do, how you want to do it. Um, sometimes it doesn't. It may go way quicker than you think. A year from now, you're like, oh snap, it's here. But yeah, just figuring it out, which is a big step. Or even if you don't totally get it figured out, just start making moves in a direction that you think is the right direction. Um, and then just work the plan. Hope that made sense. Boy, these lights are hot. Super Chat Squad, by the way. Thank you, R. Sandra, that is a good point. The vans are starting to get a little priced out, a little pricey now. Yeah. Oh, snap. So you already been working on the plan? Feel like it's already coming together? Nice, 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 nice. And I'm a big believer that it does happen that way. When you do put energy towards a plan and you're focused on it, things will just start coming. A lot of the things that maybe you didn't have figured out. Yeah, I don't know how I'm gonna do that, but I want to do that. That's why I say, dream with the lid off. A lot of times we limit ourselves even in our dreams. Like, nah, come on. What is that exact, or not exact, but like, what is something that like that would really be the move for you? That's really how you want to live. That's really how you want to earn a living. Go towards that, because then I think doors will just start to like magically open and help you out and start to come together. I've seen it happen in my life. I'm just like, wow, I didn't even. I just said it was something I wanted to do and kind of made a few moves, and then stuff just kind of came in my path and came into my life. Um, and it all started working out. So I think that that's the way to go about it. And that's awesome. Jackie said, "Would I ever live in a van or RV on the road long term? Maybe. Right now, it's really not calling to me, but maybe in the future. Maybe, maybe not an RV, but maybe a van." Tori said, "Rent's 1,500 to 1,800. A few years ago, it was nine. Rent done doubled, almost double. That's crazy. That is crazy. If rent doubled in a 20-year period, it'd be crazy. But a couple of years, a few years. Have I ever wanted to buy something I wanted but held off all the time? Yes. Yeah. Yes. Yes. I. That's pretty much my standard behavior. If you go on Amazon, if you could go on Amazon and steal my password and log into my account on Amazon, my save for later, my save for later has like 300 things in it. I'm not exaggerating. It's like 280 something things, I think. My save for later, because I put stuff in my cart and I'm gonna buy it and I'm gonna wait on it, and then I come back later. I'm like, I don't want that no more. So yeah, that's kind of one of my moves for Amazon at least. I'll put it in my cart, I'll sleep on it, I'll come back, and I'm usually like, I don't even want that no more. So there's all kinds of things. Yeah, I said I want it, didn't buy. I do that all the time. I it's more rare for me to buy something that I want. Not buying something I want is the norm. I do that daily, not daily. I do that a lot. But actually buying something I want is the norm for me. Whereas I think for the average person, it's the opposite, which is why I ain't got no credit card debt. Okay. Rent goes down. You'll see. You'll see eventually rent will go down. Oh, totally. Everything what goes up must come down. Everything cycles. Rent will go down because it can't go up forever. Traveling dude, I don't know when they're gonna stop the testing for the return flight, but I really feel like that's not a huge detriment to like traveling. Deterrent, excuse me, to travel. I'm getting my words all screwed up. And the focus is going in and out. What is this thing doing? Yeah, and I don't think that's a you just got to do a little swabby swab and you're back in. So, but I mean, if that's holding you back, I don't think anybody's sure when that's going to go away. I can see that taking a while. Because what incentive do they have to take that away? Like, I'm not going to hold you. If I was the government, I would keep that in place for a little longer. And I don't even like it. But from a government standpoint, I would keep the testing before you come back in the country in place. Like, what incentive do I have to take it away? So just my personal opinion. Hang on, folks. I'm gonna be right back. I want to talk for a little longer. We back. I need to live with your mom got the $150 rent televised. Okay. And then about to move back in with mom. Hey, go. I'm telling you, that's on the list. What was that? Number 4? Move back in with your parents. That's on the list. You've never heard anyone say, I'm not gonna hold you? Really? Oh, that's yeah, yeah, yeah. Yeah. Josh, I agree. Like that's another one of those programming things where people are like, oh, I can't live with my parents. All over the world they do that. And like you said, that's how they build generational wealth. Here, no, they want you out of the house broke and poor. Like so it's better to be on your own and broke and in debt. See, a lot of this stuff, man, this camera is killing me. Why is it doing this? Um, a lot of this stuff, like once you see the programming, you see it. Once you see it, you see it. But until you see it, you think it makes sense. No, I'm a grown up. I have to have my own place and be broke. Nah, it's crazy. It's crazy. Tori, nah, yeah, hey, yeah, I'm with you. You know, you find a place where the rent's too cheap, it may not be worth it. You know what I mean? Yeah, you might get the place and be able to, be in there and be saving some money. But when they breaking into your apartment every night, you know what I mean? Like, no, I will say this: I will pay more for peace of mind. I will pay more for peace of mind. Because what's the point of having a place to come home to if you don't feel safe? You almost rather be in the car. At least you can drive your van away. Oh, you are doing the car thing. Okay, okay. See, that's what I'm saying. At least with the car, you can pick your area. You can switch up your area. Papa thinking of buying some land, getting a schoolie. Hey, yeah, if you got the money for that, hey, that schoolie's probably gonna cost you more than the land these days. J Baby '07 living in a sedan. You own it. Any money you put in it going to a good cause. Nice. Not yeah, bro. No, yeah. If your parents are an issue, then yeah, I guess you can't live with them. You know, understand that. That's different. I'm talking about people who got decent parents who they might want to stay with. Not saying your parents aren't decent, but like people who got parents they can live with without them like killing each other. Oh, thank you. See, the camera's looking good when it's focused, but it keeps like getting the focus keeps getting weird. I gotta figure that out. But yeah, when it's focused, is we got the light show. I probably need to adjust the lights a little bit or something. I still gotta figure the lights out. I think as the light outside started dropping, it started getting weird. I'm still new at this, folks. 10 years in the YouTube game, I'm still new. I still don't know what I'm doing. I still don't know what I'm doing. Jewel, yeah, we on our list, number 14, work exchanges. Number 14, work exchanges. We talked about woofing. We talked about woofing. Yeah, yeah. For anybody who missed the initial part, you probably have to watch the playback. Actually, you know what? I'm gonna go real quick. I'm gonna do the recap. I'm gonna do one more recap. One more recap. Um, Number one was live in your. This is our list of 15 alternatives to paying that highest rent. Number one, live in a car, van, or RV. Number two, live in a tent. We mentioned rooftop tenting and websites like Free Campsite that can help you out with that. I showed off my tent in a bag. Um, Number three, rent a room. Number four, move back in with parents. Number five, live at your job. crash at the office or rent office space. Because a lot of time office space in some cities is cheaper than residential space. Commercial space cheaper than residential space, especially since so many people are doing remote work and they're getting rid of their offices. You got a lot of office buildings empty. Number 6, live in a storage unit. Number 7, seasonal work. Number 8, house sitting. Number 9, couch surfing. Couch surfing is back. Couchsurfing.com, or is it couchsurfing.org? But it's back. Kind of got canceled during COVID, but it's back. Number 10, get more roommates. Partition out your rooms. Partition out your living room. Get more roommates. Get more people in the room. It's going to happen. And I expounded on all these initially. Let's see. Number 11, Airbnb. Live in different Airbnbs in cheaper areas all over the country, or you can be an Airbnb property host. And there are people that will let you stay in one of the rooms in their Airbnb if you take care of the other rooms, things of that nature. So that's free rent or free rent. In-home helper for seniors or people with disabilities, disabled people, home care. A lot of times you get free rent, or it might be just somebody who just wants to have somebody in the house. Maybe I gotta, you gotta have someone has a house. Their mother stays there, their father stays there. They just want somebody around because their parents are getting a little older. They give you free room and board or free room, just to stay there. Get some government money. Lots of government programs to pay people's rent. You might qualify. Work exchanges like woofing, and then hostels. And one that we came up later with was boat. Live on a boat. Okay, cool. So that was a recap. I don't know. I feel like living at your office would be kind of chill, right? Especially if you work downtown somewhere. You know what I mean? You just stay a little later than everybody else. Then you just go change clothes, go downtown, go downstairs, grab something to eat, hang out with your friends, come right back to the office, crash out, get up before everybody else, shower, get in your work clothes, go down to the coffee shop, hang out, come back to work. I feel like that'd be kind of cool. Ruby, yeah, rent that room out of your apartment, Ruby. You missing out on money. No, number 17, jail. There's that. There's that. I think some offices have showers. I mean, worst case scenario, if you had to clean up in the sink. We try to save money here. Okay. A lot of these, you're not gonna have that same standard of living you had when you had your own apartment. We try to save money here. So yeah, I mean, or you could have a gym. I feel like there would be a gym close by. You could just go shower at the gym. But there are some offices with showers in them. Some people, we all know people go to jail just to get their teeth fixed. Get sick, they go to jail just to get health care. That's what the elderly people are doing in Japan. That's what the elderly people are doing in Japan. It's a big epidemic. Google it. Elderly people going to jail in Japan. Google this. This is amazing. This will blow you away. If you ain't heard this, this will blow you away. What the elderly people are doing because they don't have enough money on their pensions or whatever to eat and pay for rent or whatever. So what they'll do is they pay their rent and then they go steal food from the store and they walk very slowly out the store. They steal and they ain't even in no rush because if they get caught, they get thrown in jail and they get food and a place to stay and they get to hang out with because they put the elderly people in the elderly ward. They have their own place. Now they have their own jail because there's so many of them. It's a thing now. It's getting to be to the point they don't even know what to do. So the elderly people will just steal food. If they don't get caught, they get a free meal. If they get caught, they go to jail and they get a free meal, a place to stay, and they get to hang out with their friends. So elderly people are just purposely getting caught stealing. It's a thing. Google it. Because they're when a lot of them live alone, nobody comes to visit them, no friends. It's more fun in jail. We all got cousins who've been living like that forever. Tyrone, why you keep going to jail? All my friends there. You know what I mean? So that's what the elderly people are doing. It's crazy. I said, when I get old, I'm in Japan because ain't gonna be a lot of 70-year-old dudes who look like me up in there. I'm going to clean up in jail in Japan. I'm gonna go to the first Walmart, first Japanese Walmart I find. As soon as I touch down in Tokyo, steal me something. Yeah. So what's your retirement plan? Jail in Japan, Japanese jail. But they said it's becoming such a big thing. They don't know what to do. Like they don't know how to stop it. So a lot of times they just let them steal, but then they just come back a couple days later. It's crazy. It's crazy. Yeah, and their jails did look way nicer than ours. They showed one. I said, man, yeah, the jails look way nicer than ours. Just steal at Walmart. They waiting. When I worked at Walmart, I seen a masked theft event. MTE. I saw a MTE, a mass theft event. I was a cashier, and I worked at a Walmart. It wasn't like a horrible area, but it wasn't the best area. Basically, it was in the middle between like the okay area and the not okay area. Like the hood was a little down the road, but also the decent area. But everybody shopped there. You one of them Walmarts. One of them Walmarts. You might not have had to live in the hood, but you shopped at the same Walmart as the hood. One of them. So I worked there, and it was cool. But I worked the night shift, and the high school kids, like after a high school game, it looked like the whole high school, not the whole high school, but like 50 kids. They would just all come in at the same time, and they would time it perfectly to where like they all would come in and they'd be milling around shopping, and then they all would grab up a bunch of stuff and run out the door. Like literally, like 40, 50 kids just running out the door, and no one did anything. Literally, like all of us sat there and watched them because it takes a while for 40 kids to get out the door, right? So it's not like Zoom. It's just like, okay, 5, 6, 7, 10, 15. And then there's the slow kids. I mean, slow like speed, not, so it takes a while for 40, 50 kids to leave. Nobody did anything. Like I'm looking at my boss, like, and she was like, mm-mm, mm-mm. So like we just literally just watched them steal. I was like, all right. And then I went back to ringing customers up. Like it was the craziest thing because like the whole store just like stopped. All the paying customers, all the employees, we all just stopped and were just like, just looking at each other like, and like loss prevention did not come down till afterwards. I think they were like, nope. Loss prevention has that little room. They'd be upstairs. They didn't come down till afterwards. Then they came down and were pretend, but nobody was trying to get nobody was trying to see them kids. Mm-mm, 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 mm-mm. It was crazy. It was crazy. Yeah, my boss was like, I'm not even. Nah, she was like, don't keep ringing. Don't even. I was all right, all right, all right. Yeah, I know about Target. The Target nearest me, there's a dude that just stands by the door constantly. I'm like, I ain't never seen a place that has a security guard 24/7 by the door. I'm like, you don't do nothing else? You don't have a room upstairs? Camera? Nope. He's standing there the whole time, just waiting. I'm like, all right, all right, all right. Yeah, Target just looked like them high prices. Nah, they need you to buy. Them high prices, yes, you need to purchase. You need to purchase. Target stock is down 25%. Oh, crypto dragging everybody down. Anyway, ladies and gentlemen, I think I'm gonna jump off at 7 o'clock. I probably need to start, getting ready for dinner, things of that nature. Thank y'all so much for tuning in. This had to be one of the highest numbers, if not the highest stream we've ever had, numbers wise. The second one. So thank y'all so much for coming through. Appreciate the support. Appreciate the witty repartee and banter back and forth. Appreciate y'all sticking with me even when the stream got a little weird. I got to get that figured out. Super Chat Squad, big shout out to them. They came through. They came through a little earlier. So yeah, the Super Chat Squad came through, showed love, showed support. Thank y'all so much for that. That always does help to keep the streams going, keep the motivation going. Thank y'all so much. Anybody watching this on the playback, shout out to you too for making it this far. You must be at work. Um, appreciate the love and just the energy and all that good stuff I get from y'all. Thank you for spending time with me. If you haven't already, like, comment, subscribe, all that other good stuff. I love each and every one of you. I say that and I mean that. Love y'all. Have a wonderful evening. Talk to y'all later.